What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Beyond All Reason, and in this video I want to highlight a couple of game mechanics in this game that really set it apart for me from other RTS games. Now, if you don't know what BAR, or Beyond All Reason, is, it's an open source project which is completely free for you to download right now. So you could just stop the video, download the game, and check some stuff out for yourself. But if you don't want to, then I'm going to show you a couple of game mechanics that I really love about this game. So let's dive into a game. As you can see, this is the multiplayer lobby. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon right now, so there's plenty of stuff going on, but I have noticed that at night there's more lobbies and more stuff going on. Let's dive into a skirmish. And I'll show you the game. Just to show you a couple of maps that they have quite a big map pool, and it goes all the way up to maps for 64 players. And yeah, that's what BAR is all about. It's about big scale. So lots of units, lots of players. For now, we're going to keep it at 1v1. I'm going to press start, and we'll wait for the game to load. One of the first things, I guess, that I love about the game, that it loads pretty damn fast. So we'll let it load up here as the music kicks in. It has a nice soundtrack too, by the way.
Choose your starting location.
And a cool AI voice. Now, there's 8 things that I want to go over. And the first thing right here is this. You know how in many RTS games you start the game and you have to instantly be on, you know, you have to queue up your villagers or, you know, send out your scout, whatever. Well, here we have some time. So we can select the starting position of our commander, which is your main building, basically. It's a big old mech who can build things, etc. And we can say, well, I want him to start here. We can still choose our faction as well. And then we can say, well, I want him to start by building a metal constructor, building these things. Then I want him to go here. Then I want him to build a factory. Whatever. Okay. And then when I'm happy with all of that, I can say lock position. And here we go. By the way, I should not forget, make myself a little smaller. So here we go. Now our guy is beginning to build. That's just number one what I like about this game. It has a nice sort of stressless intro to it. Another thing I love about this game, look at this. I can zoom all the way out. In many RTS games, of course, you play at like this height and you have to constantly look all over the map and you have to use shortcuts to jump around on the map, etc. And you know, I mean, when I was younger, I didn't mind, but nowadays I just want to lay back and zoom out and look at what's going on, you know. It's more of a laid-back playing style, and I really love it in this game that you can do that. Alright, I'm looking at my list. What am I talking about next? Automation of units. Yes, so this is a factory. We're gonna wait for it to build. Okay, I've jumped a little bit ahead in time here to get it all set up. Now, what I want to talk about is queuing of units. So you know how in many RTS games you have to jump back, queue up units, do your stuff on the field, then jump back, queue up units again. And this is mostly because when you queue up a unit, you immediately use the resources that is needed. Not in this game. This game has a, I don't know, I think it's called streaming resources mechanic. Basically meaning when the unit is being made, that's when the resources are being used. So you can queue up a whole bunch of stuff. So what we could do is simply go to the factory and queue up, you know, 100 of these, for example. Boom, 142 of these. That's an old school, that's an old school queuing mechanism. But the game has more interesting options that you can use. So we could say, well, I just want you to repeat making units. So I could say, oh, I want you to make this one. Great. And it will just continuously produce this stout medium tank. I could also say, you know what, I want a ratio. So keep producing 3 of these, and then every 3 of those, I want you to make a shell shocker. And now it will make 3 of those and 1 of those. But what if I set all this queue up and then I'm like, oh man, I want 1 constructor real quick. Do I have to like stop the queue and then do that? No, I can simply click Alt on the construction vehicle. And now the first thing it will build after this is 1 construction vehicle. As you can see right here, it's starting that. And then afterwards, it's just gonna go on with the queue. So it's very user-friendly. Now you can also, this is queue mode, you can also put a factory into quota mode. And when you do that, you can actually set quotas and say, well, I want you to build 15 of these and 10 of those. And then, of course, when we have 10 and 1 dies, for example, or is this destroyed, it will just rebuild up to that quota. And what I like about this whole system is that the game sort of lets you do it, gives you a few options, and you can sort of create your own play style with it. And I think that's very strong. Now, the game also has a really friendly way of selecting things. So if I zoom out, first of all, you've got all these really nice icons. And once you learn how to read these, the map actually becomes very readable. And that is necessary because there's going to be thousands of units on the screen. Like if you look at the bottom right here, first up there's a super tiny little kitten over here, super cute. But we can see units right now. We have 34 of 10,666. Can you imagine? Yes, you can have that many units, and that is insane. So you can imagine you need a good system for, you know, selecting stuff. Well, this game certainly has that. I can just select one of these, press Q, and then it will select all of those that are in the screen. So if I zoom in, actually I don't think, okay, if I click this one and do this, see, it excluded these ones. So that's very nice. I can press Q again, select all. I can press Control Q to have my selection. Also very nice. Again, Control Q again, have it some more. Very easy to select things. What's also really cool is you can really easily make formations. So I can just drag with my right mouse button and boom, all of these guys will go in this formation. I could also make a formation like this, for example, or a circle, or yeah, whatever. Do whatever you want with these formations. And you can understand, you can sort of draw formations really quickly on the map. And that's very user-friendly and very nice. You can also, everybody knows about control groups, right? You select some dudes, you do control 1, and now they're in control group 1, and you can select them. What you can do in this game, if I press Alt 1, what it will do, every unit that is that type of unit will go into the one group. But also, if units are made here, they will be automatically added to that group, to that alt group. Again, super user-friendly. It also memorizes these groups. So if you go into a next game, it will actually just have the same control group for the types of units that you grouped in this game. So you can really use the same groups for everything all the time. And then game after game, it will just remember that. All right, that's stuff about grouping and units and easy formations. Now we're gonna go to building. Because building, they have some really nice features as well. So we understand that we can make a building. Yes, we understand that we can hold Shift and make several buildings. We can also hold Shift and Alt to make a block of buildings. But it goes further than that. If we use Z and X, we can change the space in between the buildings. And this is important because in this game buildings can explode, and you can imagine if they're all right next to each other and they do AoE damage, yeah, they will cause a chain reaction. So you want to have this functionality, and it's right in here. You can really tell that this game is being developed by RTS enthusiasts who really understand what it is that they need. What you can also do is you can actually select a bunch of units, or buildings I should say, and you can make blueprints. So if you always build a certain type or selection of buildings, you can simply click here, save the blueprint, And then you, in every game you play, you can just select that blueprint and chug it down. Again, super handy. Okay, so this game really shines in multiplayer matches. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna paste a multiplayer match that I played, and you can sort of skip through it and look at it. But this game boasts like 8v8, v8, v8 games, for example. And you want to have a system where you can communicate well with each other, right? Now, many RTS games use alt-click for ping, danger, look over here, move here, stuff like that. This game lets you actually draw on the map first up. So that's really cool, right? And everybody can see this. And even when you're in a game and you have spectators in it, spectators can actually draw as well. Of course, that's a system that could be abused, but so far I haven't seen it be abused. We can delete this. What we can also do is ping, of course, by holding tilde and clicking middle mouse button. And holding tilde and left mouse button is drawing. But now, the coolest part, we can also double tap tilde and we can type and it will ping with the text here. So I could like draw like this and then I'll, whoops, and then I'll be like, I don't know, build wall, right? And then my partner, whoever that is looking at this, oh yeah, I should build a wall here. Beautiful. What, why every game should have this. It's brilliant, it's brilliant. Alright, I think those were pretty much the things that I love about this game so much. And you can really feel that RTS enthusiasts are building this game and they understand what it is that you need as a player. Now, there's a boatload of more stuff about this game that's really cool, but I don't want this video to be too long. So I'm gonna end with a multiplayer game that I played on the screen. I'm not gonna talk over it or whatever. Remember, I'm a complete noob at this game, so you're not gonna see any fancy gameplay, but you can get a taste for what the game looks like when you're playing it. It's a 4v4 game. Yeah. That's all I love about Bar, and I think it really deserves some love from everybody, from every RTS fan. And even if you're not an RTS fan, I think this is actually a great game to step into the genre because of all of these user-friendly ways you can control the game, especially this queuing system and the whole automation of it. And there's lots more automation in the game as well. Maybe I'll cover that in the next video. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you want to see more about Bar, perhaps, and have a good day. Thanks.
Choose your starting location. Game started. Game paused. Battle ended. Choose your starting location. Game started. Aircraft spotted. Low power. Commander died. Low power. Unit received. friendly commander has fallen. T2 unit detected. Enemy commander died. Battle ended.